Hello friends, this is my another video on consumer behavior domain, which is the unit 4 in marketing management part 1, and we are going to cover learning objective number 4, that is B2B markets, importance of these markets, organizational decision making process and its stages. So let me take you further towards what all B2B markets are available in front of us. We have agriculture market, transportation and distribution market, construction market, forestry, manufacturing, banking and finance, communication. They all are the example of B2B markets. And B2B market is very, very important because there are two reasons. Number one, the size of the business or the kind of volume that we get while making a sales offer is very huge. It offers many opportunities, and a lot of firms are trying to increase profits by improving purchasing practices. So B2B is very, very important. Let us now understand the consumer decision making process of B2C segment. This we have already covered in our previous video, but since we are talking about B2B, so we'll try to compare B2B with B2C. There is five stages, that is problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase, post-purchase behavior belongs to B2C segment for an existing product category. However, for a new product, these are considered to be the stages that starts from awareness, and then interest is created, and then evaluation is done, and then trial is there, and then if we are happy with the trial, we adopt the product. Now, how industrial buying process or organizational buying process is different from B2C. Out here, the problem recognition is same, whether it is the B2C segment or the B2B segment. The recognition of the problem is similar everywhere. So unless and until a problem is not recognized, the consumer will not behave, as we have spoken already in our earlier video about this in detail. So once we recognize the problem, we need to understand the description of our need, that what kind of products or raw material and in which quantity, what specifications we are looking forward. So once we are clear at our end about the quality, quantity, specifications, dimensions, then we try to find out the different suppliers who can offer us these quality or the quantity of the products. So in order to search the suppliers, we search them through several sources. Once we are done with the suppliers, we solicit three proposals. So we ask for quotations, and based upon the different criteria of selection or the parameter of selection, or probably the lowest bidding or the brand that the supplier already has developed in the market, we select them. So we offer purchase order as per the specification. Everything is being written in that particular order, and then we review the performance. So if we are satisfied with the performance, we go for a repeat purchase. Otherwise, we may end up changing with the supplier. Right. So let us compare the industrial buying process with the consumer buying process. In industrial buying, there are 8 stages. However, in consumer buying, there are 5 stages. So these stages I've already spoken about. Let me take you to the further slide, that what is the need for B2B marketing. You see, the firstly, I would like to mention over here that B2B markets are far larger. So the size of the deal is very high. So businesses buy and sell more goods rather than what the B2C segment is all about. So B2B transactions have a greater impact on the economy because of, again, the size of the deal, the amount is higher, so forth, the taxation becomes high. So, out here we need a different approach. We face many challenging situations which we don't encounter usually in B2C segment. So the economic growth and the development of our country actually depends on B2B markets in which we are functioning. So 50% of all business school graduates join firms that directly compete in the B2B segment. So if you look at the size of B2B versus the B2C segment, you will find that in blue color it is B2C, however in green it is B2B. So 2027, B2B will reach $20 trillion, whereas B2C is $6 trillion. So this is, I would say, 3 times approximately higher than the B2C segment. So, what are the business market products? So, these products we use to manufacture other products. So they are considered to be the goods or the raw material, and they become a part of another product. They help in normal operation of an organization, and they are required for resale without change in form. So product purchase for personal use is considered to be a consumer good, whereas if it is for official purpose, it is considered to be the industrial good. So this is 10 to 15 times in e-commerce. If you look at IndiaMart and exporterindia.com, so they all are 10 to 15 times in size as compared to B2C size. These are the top B2B brands. If you talk about the Dow, Intel, Mobil, Infosys, Accenture, DuPont, Tata Steel. So they all are the supplier to the captain in the secondary industry. And then captain produces the finished product that gets distributed in the downstream chain. And that is how through retailer or through dealer it reaches to the end consumer. Other top B2B brands are Caterpillar, Google, E&Y, Cummins, IBM, and SAP, and so on. So this is the India's B2B commerce landscape in automobile, in construction, in pharma, in procurement, in homes and kitchen, supply chain. Likewise, you can see from this slide the multiple brands in B2B domain. So these are the features of the B2B market because manufacturers, most important, they are the commercial customers. There are 1 lakh companies and 50% of all Indian products, fewer or larger customers. They are geographically concentrated buyer, basically in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Gurgaon, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Uttar Pradesh. Small and medium enterprises, all large business market customers, and government spending rupees 2 lakh crore purchase most category of goods. Institutional customers rupees 50,000 crores, educational and health. Yeah, they are the group buyers. So, that slide talks about all the supply not to produce a mobile as a finished product for B2C segment. We will have a lot of supplies in the upstream partner domain side. So as you can see from here, these are all the components of a mobile phone. And so you've got the raw material that gets transport through inbound logistics, reaches the manufacturer, got transported and outbound logistics, reaches wholesaler. Then again, transportation logistics happens, reaches retailers, and finally the end consumer. So the end consumer part is, or the downstream part is the B2C part. However, the B2B is everywhere except just the B2C customer at the last link. The rest is B2B most of the time. So the commonality between B2C and B2B is the wholesaler and the retailers. So this is the industry value chain to understand B2B. So you've got raw material, and then the industry value chain, again talking on the same thing, that is, we start with the raw material, comes to the manufacturer, then the traders, and then wholesaler and retailer and consumer. So, till retailer part, this entire thing is B2B actually. So very huge term, very huge thing for each one of us to understand that B2B market is very, very important. If you see this example of Hindustan Unilever Limited, in one way or another, most large companies sell to other organizations. So HUL is giving it to the modern retailers and the traditional retailers, and then it is finally reaching to the end consumer. Similar is the case of Maruti Suzuki as an example. A lot of components like tires, engine, and the raw material for tire, it is also getting assembled at the Maruti Suzuki plant, and then Maruti trying to give you the finished product to the end consumer. So the left side is a B2B and the right side becoming the B2C segment. Again, the Dell is B2C is for individuals and households, and the products such as PCs, printers, consumers, simple service agreements, they belong to the B2C segment. Whereas if you talk about the Dell B2B segment, the customers includes businesses, global large corporations, small and medium-sized enterprises, institutions, healthcare, educational institutions, government, state bodies, local organization, and the products that they have is the PCs, enterprise storage, servers, complex service, and other offerings. So now moving upon to the B2B different stages of organizational buying, or we call it buy phases. It consists of several stages of buying making process indicating the logical sequence. As I've already mentioned, the first is the problem recognition, then the quality of the product, quantity of the product, specifications or dimensions that are required, search for supplier, then we solicit proposals, maybe three suppliers we invite in. Then we evaluate that, we select them, give them the purchase order, use the feedback, and then the post-purchase evaluation takes place. So, the problem recognition is very, very important, and it can be recognized in the following circumstances, or may be recognized by a smart marketeer. So let us imagine availability of material is not there, supplied product quality is not satisfactory, and supplied machines breakdowns too often. So, these are the problems that can be recognized. Either you, as a marketeer, try to understand, or probably your supplier will make you realize that you need a better quality product. So, if the industrial marketeer identifies a problem within the buying organization and they make a suggestion that how this could be solved and they provide a better solution, then the chances are that they will be selected. So, for example, it is a case of a material handling equipment manufacturing company. One of the sales executive visited a car manufacturing company in India, and while taking a walk on the shop floor, he noticed a long queue with respect to the trucks waiting to unload the incoming components, the parts. So the operation of unloading was taking huge time, and this operation was also being done in a semi-manual way. So he have analyzed the situation, he studied everything, he studied the operation part, and then he suggested that he could supply an automatic hydraulic lift table, and this table would reduce the time of unloading substantially. So, this really helped the B2B marketeer as well as the manufacturer, because this improved the productivity. And then it also depends upon the type of product, such as whether you need a technical or a non-technical product. If it is a technical one, the technical department like production, quality, they will suggest what kind of product you need, what quality you require. But if it is a non-technical product, then purchase department will enter the picture, and they will decide about the quantity, and they'll do the negotiation. And then the specification is very, very important. Purchase department, with the help of their technical personnel, if required, they'll take the support from the outside suppliers and consultant, and then they'll come up with the specifications. Now the specification part is very, very important for everybody, whether it is a supplier or a manufacturer, because if there is any change even in an in design or specification, it would really cost you very heavily. Let us imagine if a diameter of the pipe is increased by even 1 mm, then the specific product will not fit in the pipe, and the entire lot would be rejected. So once we are through with the problem, once we're through with the characteristics, quality, quantity, dimensions, then we ask for or we search for the suppliers. So we go through the trade journals, trade portals, we make sales calls, catalogs, we use our network resources, we use internet, we use industrial directories. We try to find out who will give us the supply of the required raw material. So we get the available options, and their acceptability depends upon the type of buying organization, what is the buying situation, who all are the decision makers, whether supplier is reliable or not, what kind of quality do they have, what kind of system they have maintained. So, as a captain, and the acceptability of supplier would depend on my parameters. So, then I'll ask for proposals from the supplier in the form of formal offer, estimate, a formal bid, or bill of quantities, which can include everything like product specifications to be in writing, prices written, delivery period, payment terms, taxes, transportation provision, cost of transit, any other relevant cost if required. So, based upon the proposals, I will evaluate them on probably different attributes. I'll give a weightage to each attributes, and I'll try to find out how much different suppliers score. So the highest scorer supplier will get the purchase order from our side. I'll also check on to the references, or the contact persons of other customers who have taken the services from the supplier. So, for example, Mercedes-Benz, Godrej, BSF, Fine Organics, they act as a captain or manufacturers, and if they have used any services from the supplier, so I'll check from them. Or even I can ask the supplier to give me a list of other customers to whom I can inquire about the services and the satisfaction. So then I'll give them a purchase order if I'm satisfied. I'll mention the quantities, I'll mention the frequency of order placement, I'll mention the delivery schedule, the deadlines, I'll do the follow up on actual delivery, I'll mention about the payment terms and conditions. This is the sample of one of the company to the supplier. DZ Card is the manufacturing or the captain company, and they have raised this order to the supplier, and they've mentioned the description, quantity, quality, parameters, amount, vendor number, and everything. All the details. This purchase order can be with many of pages, based upon the results, based upon the product given by the supplier. We'll ask the user to give us a feedback whether the purchased item was satisfactory or not. So we'll do a review regarding the performance of the supplier, be it a formal or informal. So if the user is satisfied, only then the repeat purchase order is given to the another supplier or the same supplier. Otherwise, if you're not dissatisfied, if you're not satisfied, we will change our supplier. So we'll do the post-purchase evaluation gradually over a period of time. So that covers my learning objective four. That is what all are B2B markets, why they're important, what are the stages, and stuff like that. So with this, I'd like to end this video and thank you all for listening to me and my content. Now I will produce another video for learning objective number five, types of business or buying decision behavior in the market. So with this, I'd like to thank you once again.